Welcome back to another episode of the Beckley Wrestling Show. I'm the host, Bobby Beckley, and today, man, we got a gold medalist with us today, man. We got Meyer Shapiro. I would just want to thank you, bro, for joining us. It's truly an honor, and just congrats on the gold recently, man. And can't thank you enough, man. How you feeling today, brother?
Man, feeling good. It's been a good week since I got back. Just excited to start this college season. I've been lifting, just getting ready to compete again. Getting that mindset refocused.
Absolutely. You looking? What were you looking at? 49?
We're gonna go up. We're gonna go 157 this year.
Ooh.
I really, I never really liked cutting weight. Even at this past freestyle season, I was pretty underweight for all the events. I almost weighed in at 149 at the Open, which was kind of funny. They were like, my mom got emailed and was like, "Hey, is this the right weight? Like your son weighed in really light." But even at Junior Worlds, I was like a kilo under, I think, on the second day. But
No doubt.
yeah, definitely trying to get bigger. We're gonna
Yeah.
take this year super serious. Put some mass on. I mean, just
No.
getting ready for that college, getting strong. It's a whole different grind, whole different experience other than freestyle.
What are you looking at? So no red shirt, like getting right after it, true freshman, get
So
after it and grind.
yeah, that's the plan. I forgave my senior year, and that was kind of like my red shirt, gray shirt program. So
I like that.
they were thinking about doing a double gray shirt, and that would have been cool. I think I don't really think it was necessary. Yanni kind of did the same thing. He didn't really need that gray shirt year, but I definitely think I'm ready to go. I think being in the room and being around these older guys and just competing in the room and wrestling with Julian Ramirez, of course Yanni and Vince Cornella, just being very competitive with them and can just display how I can wrestle with these older and bigger guys. So
Absolutely. And I after watching you, I mean, even though folk style, freestyle was a little two different worlds, but like, buddy, I truly believe. I don't even believe it. I know you. You can get in there and rock with them all. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that you're ready. Like, just outside looking in. Now, granted, I'm not in the wrestling room, and you know what I mean. I'm not some perfectionist, but from what I see on tape, in which I just watched for the last 2 days, I've literally watched every match of yours for
yeah, that's
like the last 3 years. Yeah, bro, you're ready. Especially at Worlds, like man, you just did it looked so just dominant. Like I you even in the finals, like all right, you get down 4-0 early and just you kept your head, you kept your composure, like which showed a lot to me in my opinion, because you're sitting there at the world championships in the finals and here you're getting ready to start your freshman year in college and you rallied back and like there's a lot of people that would have been like damn 4-0, you know what I mean, could have got caught up in the moment and you really kept your head, kept wrestling your match, got to your offense, and it was a beautiful thing. Once you got that push out, it was just like, hey, it's my show now, and it was awesome.
yeah, definitely. After that being down 4-0, it actually not made the match easier, but let me loosen up a little bit. It's hard to go out there and let it rip when there's a lot on the line. But after that little exchange, that first couple, after I got scored on in that second exchange, I actually cracked my head open and
Seen it.
had some stitches in my head. I just got them out actually like 2 days ago. And I got a bunch of glue in my hair. They've just been closing it up with glue, but to be able to reset your mind, like, I hit my head, I was bleeding everywhere. I was like, what's going on? I'm down 4-0. I look at the clock, there's 5 minutes of wrestling left, and I was freaking out for no reason. Mike Gray's looking at me, like laughing at me. He's like, dude, you look like an idiot with that tape on your head. Like, right, why am I freaking out? So
But you know what? It tells you how great of a coach he is. Just my opinion, like just to keep you in the moment, like keep you like, hey, keep keeping it light, keeping it to where like, don't make it bigger than. I mean, because it's kind of hard to not keep, your the world championships, the junior world championships, like going for gold, like light. But for him to be able to say that and just keep you like keep you loose, keep you. Mike Gray's one of my favorite coaches. Honestly, I'd like to because I want to start getting some coaches on here too. So I'm gonna have to try to poke
yeah,
at him, but I know this man. But uh, definitely one of my favorite coaches, man. So and how was it with Yanni in the corner?
Yanni did an awesome job. I mean, other than Mike, being the boss man, Yanni does an awesome job of just keep my mind settled, keep my confidence up, and being an awesome partner and slash just being that right hand man. Whatever I needed, he got for me. And Yanni is going to be coaching this year. He's going to be coaching the Gray Shirt program. So I think the more time you just give him, the more you'll see how well of a coach he is. And I think the more time we give him, we'll see this comeback of Yanni D. And
Yeah,
I think he'll make that Olympic team, no doubt. And
yeah,
him
for
being a
sure.
coach, I think that elevates your wrestling as well. Just being in the room and just looking at positions more and more, and almost looking at it less at wrestling and just more of just like what I do, instead of making it so glorified. Like, oh, I worry so much about this and that. It's like once you're a coach, it's like I worry less about it. It's like
Man, I
you're
never looked at it like that, bro. That's actually kind of, yeah. I could see that though. Like that is that's a definitely a good way of looking at it. Like instead of you being like, all right, I have to get ready, I have to get ready. Like you said, like you can kind of sit back and be like, all right, hey, you know what I mean? You're looking at everything from a different point of view, which might set you up. But yeah, I think to be honest, I think Yanni is the best in the world. I mean I do, and I think he'll be in Paris. Like I mean he's got my bet, he's got my vote, and I think
yeah
he deserves it. I mean to be honest, like I mean he's the fifth man to ever do it. A four timer, and his freestyle game I think is just as beautiful. And
yeah
honestly, what I think's really scary is the fact that like you're in a room working with him,
yeah
like because they literally like Yanni leaves 149 and then you come in and it's just like they just exchange one for another, like just 8 years. I mean, even though you're going 57, like it's just like I, I think there's a real possibility like you have that talent to where people can be like, man, this dude can go and get four. Like he has that kind of like you can, and I believe more than anybody. I think you and Marcus have that kind of like just there's just something different. It's special. Like you don't see it. It's like a once in well, five people's only done it. You know what I mean? I know Starachi and Brooks are up for it this year, but at the same time, like it's very guys, you don't see it, man. So I mean the fact that like anybody could even put you up on that pedestal, man. That's huge. Like that's like a Mount Rushmore type deal. So I'll put you right there, man. Like I really think if somebody was going to ask me right now, hey, out of all the freshmen that's coming in, and there's some killer freshman that came in this year, like just a beautiful class, man.
yeah
And I I, I would rock with you, bro. I swear to God. And
I appreciate
and
that.
I ain't just saying that either because I've talked to a lot of the guys coming in this year, and that's the first time I've ever said it because you got to be something for real to say that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely think that my goal is to just shock the world. I mean, just doing it one bite at a time. I think an issue I had in the past was just taking too much at a time and just looking at wrestling as this giant mass, and just instead of taking it as little piece by piece. Especially over the summer, just wrestling at the open, taking it a little as just that first point I scored. The first match or the first point to that part three. And went for the open trials, the world championship, and I was just looking at the first takedown I could score in that takedown. So just being able to slow down my mind, I think, has been the biggest change in my wrestling now. Like being around Yanni and just having someone who's so in tune with his mind and just so mentally tough. And not everyone is perfect. Everyone has those little hiccups, and I think people forget that your mental toughness and that stuff is just something you have to keep building on. Just like it's like your technique, it's an everlasting thing where you just have to keep building your mind and just keep making your mind stronger. And
I love the fact that you said that, bro. I
yeah,
love it because I
I
I
think
just
time
actually
keep building
that
on it.
yeah, and that's awesome because I just did an interview with the guy that you ever seen Wrestling Mindset,
Yeah,
like and with Gene, well, and his brother, like they both started it, and he really gave me a different outlook. Like it was a quick little 25-30 minute interview, but man, he really some of the things that he said, like just he even said like Kerry Cole that and he like because I was like, man, what do you like in your opinion as somebody that preaches this and does this on a daily, like what do you think when it comes to this sport? Like what how much some people say 40% wrestling is mindset. Some people say he said Kerry Cole that says it's 95% mindset. And I was like, damn, that's but when I look back at it, like I truly believe because so many people wrestle that number. Like, all right, so you as a freshman, you come in, you're gonna, and you say you got at 57. Say you would have got Sasso. I mean, all praise to him. Hopefully, he gets healthy and gets back on a mat. But he was gonna bump up to 57. Like and be number one. Like a lot of people, they can let that get to their head to where it's like, man, this is a two-time national finalist. You know what I mean? He wrestled with Yanni. He wrestled him tough. Like, and people will wrestle the name or the seed rather than or the where they're ranked rather than just going out there and just like you said, keeping that mindset strong and doing it. So like I think if you have that, bro, I gosh, what can stop you?
Yeah, I mean, putting guys on pedestals is definitely not an issue in wrestling, but it's just something that's big in wrestling. It's really
Yeah.
hard to, especially as I get older, I'm going to start wrestling guys that I looked up to, and I've had wrestled guys who I looked up to, and just,
Yeah.
you know, Sammy Sasso, great example. I could wrestle him at the NCAA tournament this year. I really hope he gets healthy and he's back at it because that's someone I see myself wrestling, and it
Yeah.
like I said this earlier for the World Championships when it was originally in Poland because the AIN guys weren't allowed to compete because they couldn't get their visas. So I was like, what's the point of winning a world title if Russia's not even going to be there? And
Facts.
then it got moved to Jordan, and then I got my opportunity. So just being
So
able to,
that's what the AIN is. That's Russia. Like I said, like because I was wondering, like I was sitting there watching, and I'm like AIN, AIN, and that they were all dogs too. So I'm like, they got to be Russia. Like because like whenever on a senior level, they used to just be before like this whole deal with their visas and all this. It was just RUS. You know what I mean? Like basic. So I was like, man, what? Why am I struggling to put this together? But like just watching them, I'm like, it has to be because it was us. I like what Iran and AIN like every time. And then like Ozra, that kid you wrestled in the second round, I think it was second round, round of 16. It might have been the third round, 6-4. Like, cause it was,
I didn't
I'll
wrestle
tell
good
you,
that match. So
match two, that Ozra, I forget how you pronounce the
yeah,
country, AZE.
Azerbaijan.
Yeah. And I mean, he was tough too, but like, it,
Yeah,
literally, like you had you go 11-0, 6-4, 8-0, 11. I mean, bro, you out of the whole thing, you give up 10 points, and that's including the finals against an Iranian who's
yeah,
a monster. Like, like, we're proud of you, bro. Like, I'm telling you, like I told you before you went, like, we wouldn't want anybody else at 70. I promise you. Like, uh, as a country, like you throw that USA singlet on, it don't matter where you're from, where you came from, who you could be, California, Oregon, Texas, Iowa, PA, Ohio, wherever. Like we're all together once you strap that on. Like so, you had everybody had your back, bro. And I'm telling you, there's nobody else we'd rather have there. And I said that before you went there, and I meant every word of it. And you showed it. You showed why.
yeah. I think you know, obviously, I think the best thing I did in that whole tournament was just my mindset, resetting my
Yep.
mind. Performance wise, honestly, I think I could have wrestled a lot better in certain positions, especially in that Azerbaijan match. I punch underhook a lot, that's a lot of my offense. And that first round, I wrestled Japan, and, Japanese don't wrestle at an underhook a lot. There are a lot of very boxy stance, cutting corners, double legs, reattacks and hard shots. But punching an underhook on a kid who's probably been doing an underhook his whole life wasn't a smart idea against Azerbaijan. And that was just a mistake on me. And through that whole match, I was feeling just kind of like sorry for myself, if that makes sense. I was
Yeah.
standing there. You can just watch my tempo, and I'm just not wrestling the way I should. I'm not putting multiple attacks together, but I'm just standing there. I'm just hanging my hands, and I'm just looking at the
And that's
guy.
not you. Yeah, that's a fact because that ain't you. Like
That's just not
you're a guy. Your offense is going off the wall all the time.
yeah.
Like it's yeah. So I can and I watched it twice honestly because it was like what was different. Like and and honestly, if I had to say something, I would just be like, man, he I would say you wasn't getting to your offense. As somebody like not to pick brother you want to go. I'm proud of you. I don't want to sound like I'm trying to,
No, don't worry.
but
I was pretty upset.
yeah, I don't.
So
But you still like, I mean, he what he end up? I think he didn't he end up taking bronze.
no. So what made this hurt even more was the Japanese kid beat the crap out of him. So a lot of personal. I'm very competitive. So seeing someone else beat a kid that I didn't beat him as well makes me mad. Mitchell Messenbrink wrestled great. Very impressive tournament. But him tech falling everyone, just makes me mad at myself. I definitely could have wrestled a better tournament. I think
I
one
can.
free flowing more. I gotta let it rip a little bit more. I was a little content. That first match, I had a lot of nervous energy, and I went out there and I wrestled hard, and a lot of my technique was displayed. And in that second match, a complete opposite effect. In that first match, a lot of nervous energy was there and a lot of excitement. And that second match was a lot more relaxed, like take it down a notch, and it kind of bit me in the butt. So finding that happy medium of where I want to be is kind of something I'm working on. And in that Russian match, I think I did a good job. I just was talking to myself a lot. It's not good to be in your head a lot, but if it's positive things, I think that's beneficial. So
You
just
had such a draw. I mean, you, in my opinion, you wrestled four of the best dudes in the entire. Like you literally had a brutal draw. You're talking a Russian, Iranian, Azerbaijan. Who was the first one? George, wasn't it?
um,
Yeah. So I
so
mean, it was just like this
thank you for
draw was just
uh, yeah.
brutal, bro. And you handled it. And I get it though, like with you, how you're saying like how you looked at Messenbrink's deal, and Mitchell did have a phenomenal tournament. Don't get me wrong. Like I agree with you, and but and that's the competitor in you, and but that's what's gonna make you great. Like that's what separates you from everybody else, bro. Because um, honestly, you remind me a lot of Ben Davino. I talked with him a little bit, and the kid won the state tournament, and he he won his third straight state tournament, and he just wasn't. He was upset. You know what I mean? Because like just like you, I mean, you won gold, and it was like, man, I could have done better. And like, I haven't had a lot of people that like won a gold medal at the U20s or won their third state tournament and blue chip recruit ranked number one in his weight class and being like, man, I could have done better. Like I feel like you guys, that's what separates the great from being very good to winning four national championships, because like I can tell just by the way you talk, brother, like you want this, you love this, like this is what you do.
And cut out for a second. You back?
I was just saying, yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, you could just tell by the way that you talk, like, just how much, yeah, that you love this. Like, this is what you do. This is your craft, and it tells me, it's like you can see it with the way that you speak in it about it, bro. You really do.
I appreciate that. It's
Absolutely. So
tough,
what's
man.
next?
It's hard.
I bet, brother. But at the end of the day, so all right, you get to Cornell. All right, you get this. So what's next on the agenda? We're just grinding. We're getting ready for 157 and going after a national title.
Yeah, getting prepared for war. I think this year is going to be an exciting year. Especially I'm going up in weight. I think see a whole different side of me. I was I'm a little skinny. You can see when I'm wrestling. I got some skinny arms, so thicken up a little bit. Put the pace on guys, and I'm just excited to rep that big C on my chest. That's what I'm really excited for. All last year I had to rep Spartan. Didn't get any of the team gear, but now I'm a part of the team. I'm part of that family, and
Yeah.
Cornell was a really big decision for me. A lot of people wanted me to go to Penn State, and that didn't.
I think everybody thought you was. I think I literally was,
Yeah.
even the stuff that I read up, it was like everybody thought, like I literally read up, like it was literally what do you call them things? It was just like all Penn State fans were like talking, and they're like, ah, yeah, we're just too loaded. That's why he chose Cornell, and he might have not have been able to start as a true freshman, so that's why. And I was just like, we're
That's
talking about
that's
the
definitely
same
not
kid.
not the reason. There's a lot
Yeah.
of underlying things between that, but Cornell.
Yeah, but I was going to ask you what separated it. Like, what separated Cornell during your recruiting process?
you know, Cornell's a family. No matter who you are, you're a part of that family, and you mean the world to all of our guys. Everyone's the same here.
So,
There's no pedestals. Everyone's equal, and it's just Mike Gray just did an awesome job recruiting me, I think. And on top of that, I think he just really, I really saw myself jumping levels here. And I think the biggest jump for me is mental things. So Mike and Yanni, I think are the best two guys for that, and Callan and Donnie are going to, I think, make me a monster on top and help me with those other things. And I think with my team, I'm capable of really great things. And I have no intention of leaving anytime soon. I plan to wrestle senior level and be there for a super long time. The
I,
school part is something I'm gonna have to adjust to. Not all these other Big Ten schools, they don't have to deal with schoolwork like I'm going to have to do. But like anything, you got to find a way if you want to be great. So we're going to get it done. And, plan is to come on top this year, just looking to break everybody, take out,
Absolutely.
take out everyone. I'm currently ranked, I think, at 24th at 157. And I love that, time to climb that ladder again, just like high school.
Yes, sir.
So it's, Cornell is just family. When I think about it, it felt so right the first day I came up here, and just talking to Yanni and talking to Mike and just being around the guys on the team. I was like, wow, like you guys are awesome. Like you guys don't even look at me as a wrestler. I'm just some random kid that's on a visit, And just like Marcus, I hope Marcus sees the same thing on this visit. And we're just very the family thing, every team will say, oh, we're like a family. I think a lot of wrestling teams have cliques, hierarchy. I think guys if they're better, they won't hang out with certain guys.
100%.
Overall, just the mood. You got to be in a positive mindset, and you got to have fun at practice and have a smile on your face. And I come in every day, and everyone's goofing off and playing around before practice, beating each other up. Kids are doing jujitsu before practice, rolling around. And then, we let it rip hard. We go to practice and we scrap. No one's off the table. Everyone's getting chirped. Everyone's getting messed with. Yanni's getting bagged on, of course. If you're the man, you're going to get bagged on. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. See, but that does, man, that makes it, that's just, and it's just such and I dig it though, like, because at the end of the day, I think that's what you need, like that good family environment where, like you said, like every team is going to say. And to be honest with you, like when I talk to like guys that just picked, just committed or whatever, like most of them that is the answer. Like honestly, it's like it's a family, You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like it. You're probably right. Like when you get there, you get settled in. It's gonna probably get clicky. Like these five guys are best friends. These three over here click, and like this is my guy here. And like if you can get it all as a group, and like that whole team just clicks, man, that you can build something special. And that's when you start getting team national championships. And when I look at your guys' lineup, it's like, hey, they might be able to run with the Iowas, the Penn States, like this. Cornell's building something. Like I think it's kind of under the radar. Like, not, don't get me wrong, like people know like Cornell's for real, but like I, I think you all can walk away with like some trophies, bro. Like a team trophy. Like
we got a team trophy last year.
mm-hmm.
And
Taking third.
I think, of course, Mike Ray, we plan to get another one this year. I mean, I think this team's a building team. We're not looking to cancel anybody out, recruit guys over guys. That's just not how Cornell's like that. I see a lot of other schools do that, recruiting guys over there, guys that have been there. I think that's obviously you got to do what's best for your team, but at the same time, there's guys who, there's loyalty at some point. Wrestling.
Exactly.
There's a lot of loyalty in wrestling, and I think people forget about that. And I think Cornell has a lot of loyalty and a lot of just
love that
as a whole. I think we got some of the best technicians in the world. Mike Ray is professor of wrestling. It's kind of why I picked it. It's like the philosophy of wrestling. How can I make my wrestling better? It's not about how tough I can get. It's like, how can I make myself the most efficient, the fastest, not even the strongest. People get caught up in being so strong. You only got to be strong enough. You got to be strong enough to just do the moves. So you don't got to be able to bench press 500 pounds. But
absolutely.
I think that's a lot of the things that I've been thinking my whole life are thought here. It's always about getting better in wrestling. My dad says it all the time. Like, what's the point if you're not getting better? What's the point if you're just doing the same things your whole life? So,
what guy did he get? Is that how you got into wrestling? Was dad the one that, like, how did you first? Yeah.
So my dad, he did not wrestle. My dad actually played table tennis growing up. Very competitive.
Awesome.
Very interesting. He played a world of sport, but he actually just like I did, won the U.S. Open as a junior, but he won it for table tennis. Won a lot of big tournaments for table tennis. Actually, was supposed to travel the world and do a lot of great things. Unfortunately, that didn't get to happen due to his resources. But my dad's had a very strong mind, I think, his whole life, and honestly, the most mentally tough person I've ever met. With everything, I think a lot of, like I said, a lot of people say about their things, but my dad is just, taking stuff from him, it's hard because it's your dad and he's yelling at you and stuff. But now that I'm getting older and I'm realizing things, it's like, wow, he's so right about so many things. And it's just,
yes, sir.
So always trust who's in your corner. And, it's pretty. I feel like it's pretty easy to know not who to trust because they're not doing the right things. And my dad's always doing the right things, and yeah, he got me into wrestling. He started me out with judo and jujitsu. So when he was like in his 30s, he did a lot of judo and jujitsu. He's a black belt now in both. But that's how I got into wrestling
Okay.
was judo and jujitsu. And then eventually I was like, oh, let's go to wrestling practice to help with my judo and jujitsu. And then I was like, wow, this is way better. This is way more physical, way more fun. You can go out there and just beat the crap out of somebody. And
Absolutely.
it's a fight with rules. I love when people say that. It's when people tell me about their sport, I'm like, you got blood time? No, yeah,
Yeah.
your sport
You
doesn't really.
know,
I'm sorry, like.
absolutely, absolutely, and I couldn't agree with you more. But now, do you have a preference with the freestyle or folk style? Like, is there one that's like, hey, I like them both, but I like my freestyle, or hey, my folk style when it comes like my that NCAA championship. My like, is you got a preference over either one?
Problem is I get in the groove of what I'm doing at the time. So like right now, I would love to just keep wrestling freestyle and go wait until senior world team trials and go wrestle in that. But unfortunately, I got duties elsewhere, and I gotta refocus and get myself back into the folk style mindset. A little bit more grindy, a little bit more sticky, a little bit more just less not saying less finesse, but more just grinding that guy down. Breaking him even more. That 7-minute match is tough. It's long, and plus the overtime. But I think with that 3-point takedown and just there's more opportunities to score. They're making it more like freestyle. I think it's just going to benefit the way I wrestle more.
You a
But
fan of it?
yeah, I think it's awesome.
Me too.
I think folk style is kind of boring. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, got to add something to it.
It's really hard rewatching old folk style clips for me because I'm like, dang, this guy's just laying on top of him. The guy's not even trying to get him out. This guy's not trying to turn him on their feet. They're just standing there like.
Yeah.
Freestyle with the passivity rule and then criteria, it makes you have to wrestle. Foreigners do a great job of it. They have their little dilly dally for that first period, see who's the shot clock. If they get a score, and then that second period, they're lights out, going hard. So, I would say right now I'm a freestyle guy, but I think soon I'm about to be a folk style guy again. I'm gonna soon to love it.
Once you get back in that groove, absolutely. Now, would you be upset if like they switched everything from youth on up to freestyle and just kind of did away with folk style? Would that bother you in any way, or would
I
you be
think
all right?
it would just benefit us even more. I think the U.S. will never lose that hard style of wrestling. I think that's just a staple of what we do. I think we just
Absolutely.
a little bit, not less finesse, like I keep saying less finesse, but just more hard wrestling. These foreigners don't like to wrestle that hard. It's more of a chess match for them. They don't want to take hard clubs. It's like disrespectful to them, but we don't care. I don't care. It's
Yeah,
not,
run it.
it's about me beating you. So folk style is just, I don't think we're ever going to get rid of folk style. I think that's going to be around
I
forever.
hope. I think it's a good step. It separates it to a point. Like, because what's nice is like you said, like during when the freestyle circuit's going on, you got U17s, U20s, U23s coming up. The senior level coming up. So like you get excited, but then when NCAA like its season comes around and the state tournaments and like Super 32s and Ironmans and all this stuff, like I love that too. Like you even as a fan, and like now that my wrestling days are over and I'm just a fan sitting here just trying to build a podcast to get. And honestly, the only reason why I started this was because like I just got to have something to do with it, man. I don't want it out of my life outside of watching it on TV. I got to have a part of it. And it was like, yo, what better way than to like, we get to watch you guys on a mat. And I literally have watched you for the last 3, 4 years and been like, man, like this kid's a man. He's a monster. Just love watching. Love the way you get after it. Love your offense, bro. Like everything about it. Like it's so smooth. So I was like, wonder what he is like. You catch yourself like, what are they like off the mat? Like, and I've had so many people wondering, like, man, he's probably, the way he wrestles on the mat. Like a lot of people thought it about Austin DeSanto for Iowa. Like, because he would do some things on the mat that people was instantly like, "Yo, he's got to be just a
Yeah.
terrible person."
Yeah.
Dude, one of the nicest people I ever.
Really sweet guy. Vito was just hanging out with him at World Team Camp, and they were just having a blast together. I think that's a good point. You just said guys on and off the mat. I think people lose deception of that, and I think people, do one of two things. Praise a guy. It's like, oh, that guy must be the man off the mat too, and then or down a guy and be like, oh, I don't like that guy. And that's from a
100%.
lot of things, I think, from people having success or just overall, when you go out on that mat, you kind of lose yourself. It's hard to have
Absolutely.
reality, like
We're
I
competitors, bro.
it's like, yeah, the other guy's trying to win too, and you kind of just do what comes to your mind, and it's just muscle memory. And then people are like, you ever like plan your celebrations? Like I do, and I've never done them. I've never done the plan celebration. So I'm so, grateful for these moments and these opportunities that you lose it. I go out there, like I try to do something cool, but it's just like I'm just so excited that I did well, or I'm just
You
so.
forget about what you did. But hey, I'll tell you what, at the World Championships, you couldn't ask for a better one because, like, you could. I don't know if it was planned, but it just seems so. What's the word I'm looking for? Just very, just in the moment. You know what I mean?
Very
Like you were
natural,
just
very organic, just in
yeah,
the moment.
organic. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Very organic. Very just like you could tell, and it made it even better, honestly, because I think that organic of just excitement, like man, like you know what I mean. And it was cool seeing it from the house. With like, bro, I was sitting at home and just being like, but this just I'm out of my seat, like yeah, like you know what I mean. So like it was super cool because like I was trying to stay in touch, but didn't want to bother you too much. But like yo, you got this, bro. Like you know what I mean. Just real quick, like shooting them out to you, but like it it means so much for us fans too, man. Like it does. So it's cool to see that organic celebration and watching you do your thing and taking that flag and being able to run that circle, man. It was fun to watch, and it was I it's something I'll never forget, man. Like, you know what I mean? My son was sitting on my lap and we're sitting there watching it and he's 2.5, so I'm just trying to get him into it. So
Yeah, you're
it's
bouncing
definitely a
around,
moment.
just
Yeah, yeah. Like I'm over here leaning because my wife's always like, "What are you doing?" Because I'll be like getting after it and stuff, and my son's just like over here.
going with you.
Yeah. But man, we are, and that's straight up though, man. And I've said it a couple times, but like I just want you to know, like honestly, bro, it just proud as hell of you, dude. Like, and you should be too. And I can't wait to see what this future brings you because your mindset and the way that you want to be great and how this is your craft and like even after doing something great, you're like, hey, it could have been better. Like you're looking for perfection, and I like that. And I think that's what's going to separate you and make you. I think you're going to have a lot of gold in your future, and I think you're going to be on a lot of podiums, and I'm excited to watch it.
Yeah, the like I said earlier, it's just one bite at a time. There's a lot of I forget, and I'll remember sometimes. Like, dude, I have so much wrestling ahead of me. It's so exciting, and
Yeah.
I think one thing people forget is like just being grateful for that opportunity. I think that's one thing I've always heard, and I never really understood. I used to do the wrestling mindset, and I think I was a little young, just being immature. Just I would fill the stuff out. Oh, I'm grateful for this. Yes, yes. And then until I was, a couple years ago, I got really, just really mentally, just I think I gained a level of just understanding who I am and just understanding what I do. You know what I mean? Just being grateful for the opportunity to compete. Just understanding that not everyone gets to do this. Not everyone gets to get these moments like this, and it's not presented to everybody. It's special things, and I think people forget about that when they're competing and they get nervous, and it's like, are you nervous? You're here. You get to, and this is the only part you get to enjoy. You know, the only part where you get to go out and see all the work you put in. And Mike kept saying to me, "The hay's in the barn, dude. We can't do anything else. You're a week out. You can basically we're gonna have a good week this week and taper off, but there's really nothing else you can do. It's time to go." I'm thinking to Yanni, like nervous energy, and I'm telling him stuff, and he's like, "Dude, enjoy these moments. You're not going to get them back. Why waste them being nervous, having butterflies in your own head? Like it's in a foreign country, people from all around the world around me, people who respect me just off of videos they've seen me wrestle. They don't know who I am. They just look at me as a person they have respect for just because of my abilities of wrestling. And just to just be able to take that, and Yanni also said a good thing was I'm just the guy you see. There's so many people that go into what I've done and just so many little pieces. And if I could thank everyone, I wish I could. There's so many people that go into my wrestling career that have put me to this point. Little sayings, little motivation, just little acts
Yeah.
of kindness, just little things like that. They just build up over time, and I just think about them. And I think as I get older, I'm gonna keep trying to just make my mind stronger and enjoy this wrestling career because at some point it's not gonna be anymore. I'm gonna be old. I'm not gonna be
And
able to
it'll
compete.
go quick. It will, because you're gonna put so much time in, and bro, I promise you, from what you're 19,
Yeah, I just turned 19.
just turned 19. Oh, but wait, August?
July. I mean, kind of just turned 19 right before the World Championships.
Yeah, yeah. Well, my birthday was in August, so I was just like, oh shit, bro. Like it makes sense if your birthday's on mine. Like no wonder you're a dog. I get it. No, uh, but that with it being 19. And buddy, I just turned 35 in August, and it goes so quick, man. So like, if out of everything you just said, you said so, like that was, I can take about 10 reels out of it. Like I can't wait to drop your video because it literally, you touched on so many great things right there. But the biggest thing I took out of it was what Yanni told you. Like it doesn't last forever. It does go quick, and before you know it, you're gonna be 25, 26, and which still you got years ahead of you, but it's gonna be like, whoa, like where did them last
Yeah,
seven,
we got
10
then a
years?
much short time. I'm looking at the next Olympic cycle, and it's like I'm excited. I'm just like I said, the word grateful, the phrase grateful for the opportunity to compete. I think people just say it and they don't know what it means, but it means I understand what it takes to be here, and I understand who it took to put me here, and I think just understanding that more. And I talk to myself a lot. I look like a crazy person. We had a hard workout today, and
I
I was
I
just
would,
assessing myself and walking back and forth and just talking to myself. And it's just, there's a lot of demons people have, and I think
yeah,
those affect people, but it's just the way you can deal with them and the way you can process that, and you know, being able to use that energy in a different way. Looking at
yes sir,
stuff in a different way. It's a lot of that. Just being able to take full benefit. It's a Navy SEAL saying, taking full benefit. It's
yeah,
raining outside, take it full benefit. It's just going to make you stronger. The day sucks, take it as it is. It's just going to make you stronger. And I say a lot of this stuff, and then when I get nervous, I kind of yell at myself, like, Mario, you talk about this and you say you be about it. It's like, be about it.
yeah,
You
yeah,
got to be about that stuff. And there's all these little sayings, and people just say them, but like once you get into tune with a couple you like, I think that there's a really powerful, just little affirmations and just
yes sir,
words you can say to yourself and just to give you confidence. And wrestling, like we were saying earlier, Kerry Cole, at 95% mental. I think I agree with that. Maybe 90. I think you gotta have some skill.
yeah,
Being mentally strong gets you pretty far, but I think the skill part's there too. But being mentally strong, I think is everything. Just that mental state. You
me
know,
too.
at the end of the day, I could have gone 0-1 because I was just being soft. It's as easy as that. Just what
And
comes
that's a
at
fact.
you.
And you're not a big, but you're not built like that. And however God, whenever He made you, bro, He made you, and how your parents raised you, and the people that you surround yourself with. Because like you said, and I feel like every great wrestler, every great person had like, and maybe not all of them. I can't sit there and say every single one, but like 90% of them have came up from great families, great backgrounds, have had parents that was there, and really was by their side, and they surrounded themselves with great people, great coaches, just great friends that wanted the best for them. And that's how you get to the level that you are. And it sounds like you had that. Like it sounds like you surrounded you could have, though, like you could have easily decided to go hang out with this crowd instead of that crowd. And so, bro, like at the end of the day, like those, I respect you 1000% for saying like a lot of it has to do with the people. Like there's so many people that played a part in your success and where you're at and like where you're going to end up. uh but you had to do a lot of this too, and like don't ever forget that, because like you made the right decisions, you did the right things, you put the work in, on top of having this amazing support system. But at the end of the day, like Meyer is the one that needs to like be lifted up at the end of the day, because bro, you could have chose so many different ways that wouldn't have led you to where you're at right now. So be proud of that shit too, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, life's crazy. I'm still getting older. I'm still maturing. But just taking, I think something I'm doing better is just taking stuff from other people. Especially my parents. They do a really good job. With everything. My mom. I do all these interviews and I talk a lot and I forget to talk about my mom. Actually, it's awful. But my mom's from a support standpoint, she's the biggest supporter I've ever had. My dad's always worried about my wrestling, and he supports my wrestling awesomely. But my mom is just there every second with my school and just everything.
Without wrestling.
Yeah, I'm kind of a mama's boy. I would do anything for my mom.
You too, buddy.
I love my mom a lot. She takes care of so many problems, and she's always just been there for me to work me through stuff. And just life's hard mentally. It's difficult stuff, and being able to have a mother that's just so caring and loving is just something I can never ask for again. It's just I'm so grateful for her, and I also have three loving sisters. They're awesome too. They support me every day.
You the baby?
I'm the youngest. Yeah, my sisters are all older than me. Me and my youngest sister tend to fight a lot, but that's just how it goes. Me and my older sister are very close. Me and my middle sister also very close. Just like I said, family, man. It's
Yeah.
really people forget you can't do stuff alone. It's really hard to do stuff alone, and if you can do it, praise to you. But I'd rather have a team by my side and surround myself with people that can get me there. And I'm not perfect. I have a lot of flaws, and I try to get people to help me with those flaws and bring me to that next level. And I hope I do stuff for other people too. And I hope people can look at me as someone they can have as a friend or family, just all of that, someone who can support them as well. But
Absolutely, bro. You're getting, I you're very much somebody, and I've been blessed to be able to talk to a lot of these wrestlers, from men to women to Grecos to freestyle, just to NCAA champs to all of it, and I can promise you that like my son will know of you, and hopefully one day he gets to meet you whenever you're going through all these senior level and making gold medals, because the way that you carry yourself and the way that you are, like I want him to be able to look up to people like that, like just like you, bro, like that are very thankful for their mother, for their fathers, for the people that have helped them achieve what they have. And uh I, I, you're what you are is like you're an inspiration, bro, for this youth, for the upcoming wrestlers, for the young kids. You're Yeah, I got a 2.5-year-old that I'm already hoping that whenever in 5, 6 years from now, like I said, when you're doing your thing in a senior level and or your final year of college, like we're in Cleveland, that the NCAA is here in 3, 4 years, we're gonna see you.
I
And
think we duel Ohio this year. I think we duel Ohio at Ohio.
yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's a part of our schedule. So things can happen sooner than you know.
Yeah, no doubt. I can promise you, if you're in Ohio, I'll be there, big dog. I definitely will. Any chance I get to watch it, I definitely huge fan. Have been for a long time. So it definitely, to see it live would be awesome. That's for dang sure. So I definitely I'm glad you told me that, because I need to look at y'all's schedule and see what day it is, because that's awesome
Let's do it, man.
for sure. But man, I didn't want to hold you up this long. I know it's been 45 minutes,
No,
but
I
I
think
do
that
want
was
to
a great
thank you,
talk.
bro. I do. I definitely just I know you had even your little walk around doing your thing with him, and so I appreciate you just taking the
Yeah,
time, sitting down, bro. This means more than you know. With just trying to get this platform, just getting started, and having a world champ sitting right here, man. And to be
yeah.
honest, even if it doesn't go nowhere, it's been a blessing, man, to be able to sit here, talk to you, and honestly, you've given me different outlooks, man. I mean, so whenever you ever question, like, man, like hopefully one day I can, you're already doing it, bro. You're already doing it, because you did it tonight. You did it right here, sitting here in 43 minutes. You made a 35-year-old man be like, damn, it's a way to look at things, and it's appreciated, man. You got a hell of a head on your shoulders and a damn bright future, brother. And you got a fan right here that's gonna be rooting for you the whole time.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I just want to keep moving forward. There's been points in my life where I've stayed stationary, and I really don't like that. And not in a wrestling standpoint, I would say just in a life standpoint. And those are hard to get through. So I think the best thing we all can do is just keep moving. Just keep swimming. Nemo
Yeah.
said it perfectly. Just keep going. Just got to
Yep.
keep looking forward, and just something bad happens, just wipe it off and look at it. It's an experience, and just got to keep going. It's hard to plan for life. I expect to have some hiccups in my life, and
Mhm.
I plan to be mentally ready for them. I'm not gonna train to not be ready for them for sure.
And I tell you what, bro, something that that wrestling mindset, Mr. Gene told me. He said when his kids are whenever they fall, he looks at them and he says, hey, why do we fall? And they say, and he's got them to where they say to get back up. And I don't know why that hit with me, and it stuck with me. But it was like because life does. Like sometimes it feels like you're just hitting like a man, like a wall, or even in wrestling, like you might be hitting a wall when just all aspects, of, any aspect of life. And it's like, why do we like, man? Why do we fall? Like it sucks to fall, but you know what? We're gonna get right back up. It don't matter. Like we get back up. This is what we fall for. Like you fall because so we can get right back at it. So if those times ever come, bro, you're mentally and humbled enough that like you were built to get back up.
Appreciate you saying that.
For sure, my man, and I mean every word of it. And I can't again thank you enough for taking this 45 minutes just to sit here and talk because I honestly I've been looking forward to it since before U20s when we first uh, linked up, man. So, but and this is whenever what I want to do is once you get that NCAA title, let's
Get
link
back on
back up. Yeah, let's link back up. I want it before Flow. I want it before everybody. No, I'm teasing, man. But whenever you do get some time, man, because I believe you got some great things ahead of you, and just we'll keep in touch, man. And we'll link up at a tournament or something, or a duel or something. And because I want to send you something for taking the time to do this. So I definitely
Appreciate that.
definitely
Thank
want to link up with you, man, and just appreciative of you just helping because what you're doing right now is helping me build this platform, and we're just getting started. But I mean, hopefully we can get it to turn into something, man, and end up being something one day. But like I said earlier, if it don't, it's been a blessing either way. But uh, again, man, thank you. Stay safe, stay healthy, because we're ready to watch you, bro. We're ready to watch you with that C on your chest and go do your thing, bro.
Let's do it, man.
All right, my man. Well, you have yourself a good night, and I'll definitely be in touch. We'll definitely link up.
Let's do it.
All right, bro. Thanks, Mark.
Awesome talking to you.
Yes, sir. Take care, my guy.